Okay, I'm pretty sure that I'm recording, hopefully. Hello, everybody, and hope that the symposium goes well for everybody else who is also doing it as they are recording themselves this year. I am Ashlyns. I am a freshman at FRC this year. I took classes at FRC when I was a senior in high school also. So I am a local kid. This year, I am doing the importance of diet and nutrition as an athlete for my symposium. And I am doing this for my speech class, English 120, for Dr. Lombardi. I chose this topic because it was something that I really try to focus on as an athlete. I play softball at FRC, and my diet and nutrition is like super important to me because I want to stay as healthy as possible and be in the best shape that I possibly can as being an athlete in a college atmosphere, because that's what's super important at the next level, is to be your best all the time pretty much. So this is my PowerPoint on the importance of diet and nutrition, and I hope you guys enjoy it. For my introduction, first of all, nutrition is different from diet, and a lot of people need to understand why. Diet refers to the quality of food itself, where nutrition is food that our bodies need to consume on a daily so that our bodies function. So what that means is, like, diet is like how much food we put in our bodies and how much we regulate on a daily basis. But nutrition is the nutritional value of the food that we are putting into our bodies and what that nutritional value does specifically for our bodies to help us have energy and get through our days. Athletes have a very active lifestyle, as you may know. Like most of us that go to FRC are obviously athletes. So that means that it is super important to eat healthy because it enhances your performance. Good nutrition and diets help give an athlete a good source of energy. Food is fuel. And I say that a lot of times because it's true. If you don't have good food in your body, you don't feel good and you don't perform to your best performance that you can. Athletes need good amounts of calories, carbohydrates, fluids, iron, vitamins, minerals, and proteins to help their bodies fuel properly. All of those are important, and all of those can be different types of foods, and I'll explain that later. But those are the basis that people need to go by, especially as an athlete, in order to stay functional and fuel their body properly to give themselves a good source of energy. Another important thing is that diets are based on the type of sport and your body type and the specific type of training that you do, whether it's practice or weightlifting. You need to have the perfect diet, not necessarily perfect, but you need to have a good diet in order to maintain your body and your mental health and your physical health throughout your day when you're doing practice and weightlifting. And knowing your body type is also super important for when you're doing your specific diets. So nutritional facts of food. So we have macronutrients. They are the carbohydrates, proteins, and fats that help fuel physical activity and sports participation. These are the foods that we take in almost every day. So carbohydrates are very important to fuel athletes. It provides the glucose that is used for energy. The glucose is stored in the glycogen in our muscles and in our liver. We need to consume about 45 to 65% of carbohydrates within our food a day. So we need to take in that much carbohydrates in order to fuel our body properly as an athlete. Protein helps build and repair muscle. Protein helps maintain the blood glucose during exercise. So just basically, when you are exercising, your carbohydrates, that's what that's what they use for your energy, is when you're burning off all your carbs. And when you don't have enough carbs in your body, it starts to burn off your protein, which is in your muscles, which can make you lose muscle instead of just burning off your carbs and making you burn more fat. Protein should be 10 to 30% of our total daily food intake. When we are looking at fats, we need to absorb the ones with more vitamins, so A, D, E, and K, because these protect our vital organs and provides insulation for us. Because if we don't have fat on our bodies, we don't have that much protection, and our bones and our organs will be basically uncovered. So we do need fat. We need more calorie dense. So they're more calorie dense source of energy, which means they're harder to use. Like they don't give off a lot of energy like the carbohydrates do. But fat should be up to 25 to 35% of our total daily intake of food, but no more than 10% saturated fats, because saturated fat is the fats that we don't want in our body, like the ones that are bad for us. Then we go on to our micronutrients. These are very important, especially for athletes, because they're the vitamins and minerals that are needed to maintain a good health and our good bodies to function properly as we are doing physical activity throughout our daily basis and keeping our mental state sane. The main ones that an athlete needs to ensure to have a proper, good body are calcium for bone health. We should be consuming about 13 milligrams a day. Sorry. And we also need vitamin D for bone health and regulation of calcium. We need about 600 milligrams a day. And iron is very important for oxygen delivery to body tissue. For males, it's about 8 milligrams, and for females, it's 11 milligrams. And a lot of people take these like as vitamins that you can like buy at a store. Like these are also in foods, but you can also consume them whole if you want to, which I do. I take a lot of vitamin D and calcium. I don't do so much iron because I eat a lot of meat. Obviously, the thing that probably almost every coach will ever tell you, or anyone in general, is fluids are super important, especially when it comes to athletics. They help regulate our temperature and they replace the sweat loss during exercise. Proper hydration is required before, during, and after our exercises or practices. Before exercises, we should all drink, like as athletes, 400 milliliters to 600 2 hours before. And during, we need to drink 150 to 300 milliliters every 20 minutes while we are practicing or while we are exercising. And after, drink fluids to make up the loss for what you sweat and all the electrolytes that you've lost. And sports drinks are good for that. You want to mainly drink sports drinks after, not before heavy exercises or a long day of games. So our dietary foods based on our carbohydrates, proteins, fats, and fluids. Obviously, we want to have a variety of different foods as we are eating throughout the day. Carbohydrates are probably the most important, like I've said, and they're whole grains, veggies, fruits, milks, yogurt, etc. Like there's so many options for carbohydrates that are good and healthy. For whole grains, like me personally, I eat a lot of whole grain bread and I do whole grain pasta. I eat a lot of veggies almost every meal and fruits, and those are super important, and they're easy snackable snacks that you can grab. There's milk, there's all types of milk. So obviously like regular cow's milk, almond milk, oat milk, anything that you like yogurt, super important. And then when it comes to protein, you need lean meats, poultry, fish, eggs, dairy products, beans, nuts, etc. Like there's plenty of good proteins and good sources of protein that people like and that are good for you. I try to eat 2 eggs a day in the morning for my protein, and usually I eat more, at least a meat, during my dinner. So that helps me a lot with my protein. Or if I have a high weightlifting day, I try and drink a protein drink or milk because that helps build more protein and replenish your muscles. Fats are more lean meats, poultry, fish, nuts, seeds, dairy, olive and canola oils. Try to avoid fats from chips, fried food, and baked goods. So there are fats in plenty of other foods where you don't have to go buy a bag of Cheetos and eat those because that's bad. And fried food is always bad for you, even though we all like French fries. It's still bad. And so, yeah, fluids, obviously, water. I put water because that's the main thing that like our body needs is water. Yes, sports drinks, but like I said, you want them more after, not before, just so you can replenish those electrolytes and vitamins and minerals in your bodies. If you look at my chart over here in the corner, it is a good example of like what you should be eating. And so I can just go through this a little quickly. We want to be using healthy oils. So like I said, olive oil and canola oil for cooking on salads and on the table. Try to limit butter and no trans fats. So that's for like our healthy oils and healthy fats. When it comes to vegetables, more veggies, and the greater the variety, the better. Potatoes and french fries don't count, sadly, like I said. Eat plenty of fruits of all color. There's so many fruits out there. There's berries, bananas, kiwi, apples. Every fruit is good. Drink water, tea, or coffee with no sugar, and limit milk/dairy with like when you're just like drinking a lot of fluids. Just trying like dairy and stuff is good, but you don't want to drink an abundant of it more than you would water. And just, yeah, obviously try and avoid as much sugary drinks as possible. So like sodas, energy drinks, even alcohol, if people will do that. And if you're of age, try and avoid it. And like I said, whole grains are carbohydrates that we really love. Like bread, like I said, pasta, brown rice, and limit refined grains such as like white rice and white bread. Sorry. And then healthy protein. So you want to choose more like fish, poultry, beans, and nuts, like I said. Limit red meats and cheese. Avoid bacon, cold cuts, and other processed meats. So like processed meats aren't very good for you. Like bacon and like they said, cold cuts and like sausage isn't usually super good because it's a lot of fatty meats. So yeah, when it comes to protein, you really want to look into your protein and make sure you're getting the right types of protein that fit your body. So this for me is probably one of the most important things when you are looking at your diet. Knowing your body when it comes to your diet is super important because you need to know how to fuel your body properly and what to put in your body in order to get you to your goals. There is 3 different types. So it's the endomorph, which is like a stockier, rounder shape, where more fat is around your midsection and your hips. So if you look at the diagram on the side, you can see how they can like their goal is to lose weight and they have a slower metabolism, but they have like a stocky bone structure and a larger midsection within their hips, like I said, and it's easier for them to gain weight, but it's harder for them to lose it. And then for the ectomorph, which is slender and petite people, they have fast metabolisms, which keeps their body to be more long, lean frames. But their goal is to gain weight, and they are thinner, lanky, skinny, and further bone structure. And they can basically eat whatever they want and never gain any weight. For the mesomorphs, which is a middle shape of the endorphin and the ectomorph, they have more broader shoulders and are more muscular, and they take on like a more V shape. So like their goal is to lean up, so like muscle growth. They have an efficient metabolism and medium bone structure and athletic body, and easier for them to gain muscle or lose weight. So those are the different types of body structures. And like I said, I think that it's super important to do that, like to know your body structure and what you should be properly putting in your body to either get to your goals of gaining weight, leaning up, or losing weight. So my personal diet, it's nothing fancy. It really isn't. But what my I'm just like gonna give you an example of like what I try to do and how I try to maintain my nutrition and diet throughout my days. And sometimes it's not good and sometimes it is good. I just feel like you just really have to try and balance almost everything and just make sure, like I said, you're getting enough of everything that you need. So like my body type would be the ectomorphs and the mesomorphs because I'm skinny and it is hard for me to put on weight. But I also am pretty lean. Like I have quite a bit of muscle on me. I'm more muscle than I am like anything else. And I can build muscle quickly and I do lose like my fat easier. So like I can lose weight easy. I am for like me being more skinny though, it is harder because like I can't put on that much weight. And it's since I've been here at FRC working out almost every day and going to practice and everything, I have probably only gained like 7 pounds. So, and I have gotten stronger. It's just like I can't gain that much weight. And it's nothing that I don't eat or anything. It's just the way my body is and my metabolism works faster than anything. And it's just harder for me to put on weight, which is a good and a bad thing. Most people think that it's just so great, but sometimes it can definitely be a struggle. And just like knowing your body and knowing how your body is important because like everyone's body is different. Not everybody is the same. And you just want to be comfortable in your body and understand it as much as you possibly can. So like my goals currently have been throughout my year of just playing softball so far is to bulk up and put on more muscle. And I try to eat a lot of protein and carbohydrates. So like in the mornings, I eat bread a lot. And then for like my lunch, I definitely try and eat like a sandwich and like fruits and veggies. And I always drink a protein drink after I work out. After practice, I usually have a snack before I eat dinner. And then for dinner, I always have at least a meat and a vegetable and like more of a carbohydrate, like maybe rice or yeah, mainly rice if I have to. Like they say, if you want to bulk up, just rice and chicken. But I don't do that all on a daily basis. um, but yeah, I don't go by any like specific diet. I just choose based on what I need on a daily basis. So like if there's a day where I work out really hard in the weight room and I lifted really heavy, like I need to get protein in my body because I know that I need to replenish and help my muscles recover. So I really try to do that and I try to get as much carbohydrates in as possible because usually I have weights before practice. So I want to have as much carbohydrates to burn off during practice instead of like that burning off my muscle. And other than that, I really try and drink as much water as I can. And I don't really drink any sugary drinks. I do drink tea, but like I never have sugar in it. So for the most part, I'm pretty good on like my fluids and I take lots of vitamins every single day. So yeah, that is me personally. So like I said, everyone's different. Like no one has to like come in here and take my specific diet on what I do and be like, oh, that's what I need to do. That is not what I'm trying to say here. I'm just saying like in order to find your diet, you need to know your body type. And this is how I know and understand my body type. And this is what I do for my specific body type. Nutritional tips for athletes. So this is where like a lot of people just need like to know what's going on, because like this is the basis of why athletes need a good nutrition and diet. It's because they need to load up on carbs because it's our main source of energy for our body. If we don't load up on carbs and we go to practice, we're not going to have energy. We're not going to be able to push ourselves, and we're not going to be able to finish with the same endurance as we did when we started. Get enough of the right amount of protein to maintain your muscles. Your muscles give you your power. If your muscles are weak and not able to be maintained, they're going to give out on you. That's just kind of what happens as an athlete, and you just get to a breaking point where your muscles physically can't do it anymore. So the more you take care of your muscles, the more that they will give back to you. And another thing is to go easy on fat and only eat unsaturated fats. So like I said, you need to eat, fats are good, but you need to make sure you're putting in the nutritious fats, not the fats that are chips, cookies, candy, sodas, just all those bad fats that like we don't need, the ones that make you gain weight. Try and avoid those as much as possible, even though it is hard. Sometimes you just want to eat a candy bar, but you can't. Obviously drink fluids early and often. Dehydration can hurt your performance in so many ways, especially if you're outside in the heat 24/7, and it can be life-threatening. Like it really can harm you in lots of ways. And always replace electrolytes. Electrolytes help transmit nerve signals in your body. So using sports drinks such as Body Armor Gatorades or Powerades are super important. But make sure, like I said, you want to only do that after, not before, because you don't want to have too much electrolytes in your body. You want to have more water. Conclusion: knowing your body type, obviously, like I've said, and base your diets on what sport is super important, like what sport you play. So like obviously I play softball. I need to base my diet around that and the way I lift and the way that my days go. And fluids are super important because I'm out in the sun constantly. And so it really drains you if you don't have enough water in you. Not everyone has the same body or diet, so that's super important. You need to understand. And there's different people and different diets. Understanding nutritional values of foods and the important nutrients that our body needs is super important as well. Like I said, if you need to go back up and look at my slides, you can see all the nutritional values that an athlete needs to be successful physically and mentally. And if you follow that, you'll probably be just fine. And diets don't have to be hard. Just try a meal plan as much as you can and base your foods off of your nutritional needs. Like obviously not every day is going to be easy to plan out a diet, and especially when you're busy, you're not going to have time to constantly find foods that are going to be the best. Sometimes it's just doing the easy way and getting what you need in a quick way, and even when it's snacks, just make sure that they're nutritious and they have what you need in them. But diets aren't anything crazy, and a lot of people think that dieting is how you lose weight. No, diets is just like the food you're putting in your body and what you're minimizing and maximizing as you go along. And once again, drink lots of water. Always drink water. So yeah. Thank you for everyone who listened. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, you can email me at ambustamani@frc.edu. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my video. Hope it didn't take too long and too much of your time. And like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to email me. And here's my sources. Hopefully the symposium goes well for everybody. Hope you like my video and you like everybody else's videos. Thank you and have a nice night.